we set up on the Wednesday night beforehand, or the Wednesday beforehand. We put a lot of effort into it. We have dust trolleys and we have circular beds, and we have all kinds of nice and lovely plants that we use to display.
I suppose when we see the flowers and what we have, that's when I decide what I'm going to put in the display. All our flowers are in season, so they're not forced to be in flower for bloom. They're all in, as I said, in season, and this is what they do in June. And they're all grown outside, so that's why we have the challenges of nature and north wind and hailstones, etc. in the last few weeks. And they're all perennial, so they come back every year, and hardy. That's very important, that they must be hardy.
Usually on the Monday before the show starts, we come up and we build our display, which can take a couple of days, you know.
From year one, we've always done Japanese maples, and in the more recent years we've done nothing, only Japanese maples. And what we do here is we try and display the Japanese maples in different coloured pots to show how the contrast of the foliage and the pots can give a full kaleidoscope of colour and the full range of textures and different habits and different leaf type that's available in maples. We'd have maybe 27 or 8 varieties here, but there are hundreds of varieties, as most people know.
Well, I mean, the making of the display really starts next week, which I know sounds absolutely mad, but you sit down in the nursery and you go through what was selling, what was looking well, you go around the gardens, you see what was trending, and then you start growing. And I mean, that's the long process. You know, like we would supply plants into Jane McCorkle's garden, and like that process would start like next week, in the next week or so. So you start planning then, like plants take a year to grow. You know, so I mean, you have to, but you can make wrong decisions and you can think, oh, something is going to be fabulous and it's not. And that's just the way it is with the nurseries. And you do take chances. But I mean, if you have a good eye and you can, you know, good with colours and combinations, that's the kind of way we do it.
We've come over here, especially every year for this show. We grow a massive range of Pelargoniums, and we also grow a big selection of fuchsias as well. Back at the nursery, they're all grown on in glass houses, and then they all get brought outside. We clean them all and deadhead them, make sure they're all looking really good, and get them all into their for this stand, all into show baskets. And obviously we all pick the best ones, the most in flower, and of course the ones that people like, the most popular ones. For this one, it's a bit easier than the Pelargonium stand because we have very large specimens, so we just have the one specimen shown per variety. So we show them all in the baskets.
Well, the display behind me is composed of candelabra primulas, and the start of the process is when seeds are sown 15 or 16 months ago. They're grown on for a whole year, and then they're potted into larger pots to flowering size, and then they're transported to bloom, and we build the display over a 2-day period.
Well, to set up this display, there's about 1 day's work on site, we'll say, to set it up, but there's actually about 5 to 6 months planning goes in. For the likes of this here, we had to get the letters made out, and they're made out of plywood boxes to form the names, and that was done 4 months ago. And then we planted into the various colours with the various Sempervariums, and it takes about 3 months for them to cluster up.